How would you like to convert more of your leads into transactions? Most agents fundamentally have two problems: generating enough leads and then converting enough of those leads into transactions. In today's video, what I'm going to be showing you is how to set up the ideal lead conversion system that will triple your conversion rates. Check this out. Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. This is our YouTube channel, 2Q Lead Generation Strategies. My name is Kevin Smullin, and what we do here on this channel is we help real estate agents generate all the leads that they need for their business. We teach them a marketing system, primarily most of it on Facebook, showing them how to be generating more leads, more transactions, and basically becoming the go-to agent in their area. So if you are new to the channel, thanks for being here. Give us a like, that always helps us. Also, please subscribe. Every single week we put out brand new videos showing you new ways, new methods, and giving you strategies of how to be generating all the leads that you're looking for that will fuel your business. So with that, today what we're going to be talking about is how to set up a lead conversion system that will triple your conversion rate. Now, again, like I talked about in the intro of the video, most real estate agents fundamentally have two problems when it comes to building their business. Number one is they just aren't generating enough leads, and because they don't have enough leads, they're not getting to where they want to go as far as their goals. The second problem that they have is once they've fixed problem number one, as far as the number of leads that they're generating, the second problem that you often run into is that they're not converting enough of them. And that's where today's video is going to focus. We're going to focus heavily on the lead conversion aspect. So in last week's video, I shared a strategy. In fact, let me just go ahead and share my screen, and we'll show you how this works. All right, perfect. So last week, I shared this PowerPoint presentation about how to be getting 40 plus transactions per year off of Facebook. And it came from 4 different sources. Source number one was past clients and sphere of influence. The second source was a geographic farm. The third source was lead generation, generating brand new leads. And then the fourth one was doing having a lead conversion system, being able to follow up and convert with leads that had come in. So the whole purpose, especially of these first 3 areas, marketing to your past clients, the geographic farm, and lead generation, the whole point of that is to fill your sales pipeline with as many leads as possible, right? We want to put as many in there. And then once they're in that pipeline, we've got to have a way of pushing them through and getting to the end to where those leads actually turn into clients. And that's where this category right here of lead conversion comes into play. It's just a matter of having the system in place to be able to convert the leads that are coming in. Now, this whole strategy here about generating leads, I did a video on that last week. I'm just going to put a link to it right here on your screen. That way you can go back and view that. But it was how to generate 40 plus transactions per week, or excuse me, per year off of Facebook. And again, it was just about filling the pipeline with as many leads as possible. Today, what I'm going to be talking about more in detail is the lead conversion strategy. What does this follow-up system look like that helps you get to this? Now, on this slide, you'll notice that I'm using a conversion ratio of 1%. Oftentimes in the industry, people are converting at about 1 to 2%. The statistic from the National Association of Realtors, believe it or not, is that the industry standard lead conversion rate for agents is between 0.4, so not even 1%, 0.4 to 1.2%. That is the industry standard lead conversion rate. And it makes sense. You've got to be thinking about where we talk about lead conversion. In the real estate industry, we're talking about a transaction that the average person is only going to be doing a handful of times in their life. 2 handfuls at the most, especially if they're military and transferring all the time. But since most people are not buying homes all the time, unless they're a real estate investor, this is just going to be a transaction that the average person is going to do, like I said, only a handful of times during their lifetime. And so when we're generating leads for that transaction, since this is only going to occur a few times, the truth is most of the people that we generate leads from are not going to be ready to do business right away. right? Statistically, again, it's this 1%. But the purpose of today's video is to show you a lead conversion system that will get you far beyond that. Now, the lead conversion system that I teach has these 3 different pieces to it. So basically what happens is once we generate a lead, whether that lead comes from online, whether it's an open house follow-up, whether it's a sign call, however you're generating the lead, what we want to have is a high intensity contact for 7 days. So let's talk about Facebook leads or Zillow leads or anything like that. I'll talk about Facebook because that's primarily what I do. So when you generate a lead on Facebook, our objective is we want to have a high intensity contact right up front once that lead is generated. So we want to have several touch points right up front. And the whole purpose of this, especially with online leads, is we want to take that online lead and convert it into an offline conversation as quickly as possible, right? I want to take the lead, have a conversation with them, and know where they're at, because that's going to be able to tell me how I'm going to be following up with them and what kind of lead it is that I'm working with, right? So I want to have a high intensity contact, a drip series that's going out. Again, high intensity, several contacts over 7 days. Now, if you'd like, I'm going to put a link down in the description below, a link where you can go and you can download a free email drip sequence. So exactly what we're talking about, this high intensity, I'll give it to you for free. Just go ahead and go click the link. You can download it, and then you'll have that. But again, my objective in that high intensity is to take the online lead, convert it into an offline lead as quickly as possible. Now, once I have established contact, that's going to put that person into an active sales follow-up. So I call them buckets. So I really have 3 different buckets that I work from. And what it's depending on is it depends on what their time frame is. So if they're going to be purchasing in the next 1 to 2 months, I call that a hot lead. So I have a hot lead bucket, and those are people that I follow up with weekly. I have if the time period is 3 to 5 months, then I have a warm lead, and I'm going to follow up with those people every other week. That's my active sales follow-up. Again, that's the time period for the second bucket is the warm leads, 3 to 5 months. I'm going to follow up with them every other week. And then lastly, I call them cultivate leads, people that are going to be making a purchase or a sale, selling their home in the next 6 months or beyond. Then that is a cultivate lead. And I'm going to follow up with those people monthly, right? So a lot of it just depends on the frequency with which I'm going to be in contact with those people. So with that being said, since I've got the high intensity for leads that are generated, I've got my active sales follow-up. What happens with people that either I didn't contact right here, either they didn't respond, I haven't been able to talk to them, or what about all your SOI and your past clients and all of these contacts that they weren't a lead that you just generated, so they're not part of this, and they're not in an active sales cycle, so they're not part of this. Well, that's where this comes in, is having a long-term drip that's just consistently dripping on those people. Now, you can set the frequency of that to be whatever frequency you want, whether it's weekly or whether it's every other week. But my recommendation for this long-term drip is have a database or something. Some of you might be using ManyChat. You can set this up in ManyChat, where every single week there's a new broadcast, a new message that's going out to people. So as far as frequency of the long term, you can either do it weekly, you can do it every other week, whatever makes the most sense for you and your business. But what they've found is that the number one determining factor that people use in selecting the agent that they work with, the number one factor is it was the person that they saw first. It was the one that they contacted first. And so that's the point of this long-term drip, is just to consistently stay in front of people. So you could be sending helpful information. You could be sending a video of things that are going on in the area. What I recommend for the long-term drip is more of an 80-20 ratio, where 80% of the information that you're sending is helpful, it's informational, it's articles, things like that that people would find valuable, right? The 20% is stuff that you would do that's promotional. So maybe you would promote a listing that you have, or maybe you would promote a CMA offer or whatever, right? But again, that's the ratio. 80% of the time, I want it to be information and be helpful. and 20% of the time be promotional for generating new opportunities from that group of people. So basically, if you're doing, let's say you're doing a weekly follow-up, then for every 4 messages that you send that are helpful, you would send 1 that is more promotional in nature. And that's kind of the mix of this. So that is my recommendation for a high touch lead conversion system. What they've found is that, again, sales is just a timing game. So the only way that you know it's the right time is that you don't, frankly. So the only solution is to be there all the time. And that's the point of having a drip system that's just constantly staying in front of people so that you have that face time with people. If all you're sending all the time is information, here's a new home that hit the market, here's a new home that hit the market, let's go see a home, who do you know that's thinking about buying it? I mean, if that's what you're constantly sending people, people are going to tune out really quick, right? Nobody likes to be sold to all the time. But that one gentle sales pitch in between is what makes this work. And I've seen when people have their all 3 of these follow-up systems in place. They have their high intensity for leads that they just generated. Then they've got their active sales people, or the active prospects that they're working with, that they're following up with, those people that are in an active sales cycle. And then the long-term drip. This is where you really make your money, is just having something that you're consistently staying in front of people with. Frankly, if you wanted to keep things simple, you could even get rid of these 2. And if all you did was this, you're ahead of 90% of the game, because most agents don't even do this. Most agents, when they make a sale, they forget that person and they move on to the next sale. They do nothing as far as marketing to their past clients, to their sphere of influence. They don't do anything to consistently stay in touch. And this is where you're going to make your money in this business. So this is the strategy, and this is the lead conversion system that I recommend. Again, 3 pieces. Have a high-intensity contact, like a high-intensity email sequence or text sequence for the first 7 days as soon as a lead comes in. The second piece is having an active sales cycle follow-up for the leads that you're currently working, those people that are actively considering buying or selling. And then the third one is your long-term drip. These are just people that they're not part of the other 2 buckets. These are just people you want to consistently stay in touch with, so that when it's time, they raise their hand. And then once they raise their hand, they're going to be going into one of these buckets, one of these active sales cycles. And that's really how this process works. So that is having a lead conversion system. And I've seen people that when they implement this, I've seen their lead conversion rate go from 1%, even as high as 6, 7, 8%. And again, it's just having a system in place. That is the number one problem that most of you have. So get a system. If you need help, that's what we do. We can help you build these systems and put this in place and help you with that. So again, down below, I'm also going to leave a link to our website where it has all of our courses and different things that we offer that will show you how to do these kinds of things, as well as generate leads on Facebook. So thanks for being here. If you found this video helpful, again, give us a like. We appreciate the help. Also, feel free to subscribe. That way you're going to get brand new information every time we publish this. So we put out new videos and trainings just like this every single week. And if you click the notifications button, that little bell, you'll be notified every single time we put out one of these videos. So thanks for being here. Make it a great week. Keep killing it in your real estate business. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.